Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. Today is going to be my first impressions of the Massdrop Laconico collaboration, the Keen. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the box. I've already got this knife out, but like all the Massdrop that collabs built by We Knives, okay, it comes with a little We Knife pouch, microfiber cloth. There's some silica gel that I already took out of here. I'm going to set that aside and take a look at the knife. So there we go. I have to say this is probably one of the most interesting designs that we've seen from Massdrop yet. It is extremely attractive. I really like the stonewash bronze finish on these. I wish this was the same finish that you got on the the other Massdrop knives. So this is the bead blasted finish on the crux. I don't mind this finish at all, especially when it wears in a little bit. This is the bead blast finish on the buck. Again, I don't mind this finish, but I love this finish. So would have been nice to see that. Otherwise, though, in addition, I guess, this is also a little bit bigger, a very versatile blade shape. And you had some options right off the hop. So I went with the groove milled into the handle. Sorry about that. You could also go with holes. You could go with plain slab-sided titanium. On this side, you can see we've got a titanium frame lock, titanium milled clip, and this very nicely done drop point blade with a full flat grind, nice and thin behind the edge. Puts me a little bit in mind of a Spyderco leaf-shaped blade because it seems to have just a little bit of a rise there. But overall, very nicely done. Okay, S35VN on the steel, bearing pivot like we're used to seeing from We, backspacer construction. Everything, by the way, is anodized in the bronze. That's something I would consider doing, is adding just a touch of color by taking this out and having it anodized a different color. All right. Lockup is comfortable and easy. The action is quite good. There is a little bit of a, let's see if I can, right in here, there's a bit of a grind. So actually, you know what I think we should do, guys? Now, I'm still having some technical issues, so this video is going to be unedited. So you'll have to bear with me, but I think I'm going to grab size and weight in a second, but let me pause the video. I'm going to grab some tools, take this apart and clean it up while we're sitting here. Okay, sorry about that little delay, guys. I guess to you it's not a delay because I paused the video, but I'll grab size and weight first of all, and then we'll get into, I'm going to do a quick comparison and then a takedown. Okay, so you can see it's just, and I mean just under 8 inches, 7 and 15/16. Blade length is going to be, let's get that right, 3 3/8. All right, and most of that is going to be cutting edge. Closed dimension is going to be 4.5 inches right on. And let's finally grab a weight. Oh, there we go. .2 ounces. So for an 8-inch titanium frame lock, 4.2 ounces is not a big deal. It weighs a little more, I guess, than some of the Massdrop collabs, but nothing crazy. So now that we've got that out of the way, let me pull in, I'll bring these back in a second, but I'll just show you where we're going with this. I'm going to do a quick takedown on this knife, but when I get it all back together, then I will do a brief little comparison between this and the other two titanium frame locks I have from that are also Massdrop We Knife collaborations. So let me grab some tools and start taking this guy apart. This is a T6. Now, if I go quiet, guys, it just means I'm concentrating. I'm not very good, like some, at continuing to talk while I'm taking this thing apart. I've tried it before, and I always end up messing up one thing or the other, either messing up what I'm saying or messing up taking the knife apart. So to avoid that, I may go quiet for a second or two. And in that case, you'll just have to watch what I'm doing for a minute. So there is the pivot screw. I got a T6 here somewhere. I am using the Weehaw bits mostly. I have a cheap Amazon set that I also use sometimes. If you want to get the full details on that, I have a full video all about my preferred torque sets. Absolutely most preferred is going to be the Weha stuff. Okay, so that should be all we need to do. Let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah, just drops right apart. Very nice. Okay, so there is a quick look at the internals on the knife. Normally we don't get to see this right away. There's the blade. I'm going to, and you can see the detent path there as well. Caged ceramic bearings. Okay, so let me just start cleaning up some of this stuff and oiling it. As I mentioned, there's a bit of a rough patch in the action, and we're trying just to eliminate that. I think it might be that there's a little bit of grit in the groove here. So I'm going to clean that out. Just using a paper towel here, but it's a slightly better. When you're doing this, I always try to use a slightly better quality paper towel, mostly because I don't want the fibers to come apart and get all gunked up into the knife. You'll also see, if you watch a lot of these disassembly videos, I try to use as little oil as possible. That is not everyone's philosophy. I want to take that washer out of there. Let's see here. One of the things I always do is take one of these little extenders and throw a flat screwdriver on it. Who knew this washer would be this difficult to get out? But I think I can. There we go. No. Really wants to stay in there. Hold on. There we go. So give that a quick wipe. One of the things I consistently like about We knives is they tend to use fairly robust bearing races, which is a really nice touch. And that's one of the things, you know, when Spyderco had their whole issue with the bearing races that they were using, it was kind of ridiculous because, you know, I felt like, why can every other knife company figure this out? And you didn't at least have enough sense to look at what everybody else was doing and do the same thing. I'm just using Hops gun oil here. That's what I always use on my knives. I know it's not food safe, but I don't really use my knives for food prep anyway. Drop that back in there. And I like to use this as an applicator. Just a small slot screwdriver. I just find you can get a lot of precision. I can put oil exactly where I want it, and I don't have it where I really don't want it. All right, so that's that. There we go. Bearings, I'm just going to wipe really quick here. Okay, so that's one side done. Let's pop the other side out and do it as well. One thing I will point out is that this is not, hold on, this is not a D-shaped pivot screw. There's no real capture mechanism here, which is a little frustrating, but at least they've given me two decent Torx heads so that I can at least fairly comfortably and fairly easily work on this. Just cleaning up everything on the other side here. Sorry about taking it out of frame all the time, but this video is going to be long enough without me making it even longer by trying to work totally on camera all the time. Again, bearing race, super hard to get out. I don't know why I'm struggling. I know there's a little oil in the back there that makes it kind of stick. Wow, I am horrible. There we go. And there's a little oil on there already, but there's also a little bit of dirt. I guess I can't really show you there, but there you go. It's not too much, but when I do put my cloth in there, you can see I get a fair bit of gunk out of there. Okay, again, I cleaned out the track here where the blade stop runs, and then I'm just going to add some oil to everything. Bearing race goes back. A little bit more oil. There we go. Now, the other thing I will do while I've got the knife apart is put a little bit of oil on those stop pins as well as on the detent ball track. And the blade itself. I guess really the blade tang is what I'm saying here. Hold on, I'm just going to take it off screen for 1 second so I can just touch the end of the bottle to a couple places. Very good. Perfect. Now I've got oil on all the places I wanted on the blade. Slide this guy back through here. Whoops. Oh, I forgot that other. Stop pin. Let's just get a bit of oil there. All right, I gotta say, when it comes to disassembly here, this was really straightforward, which is not always the case. Putting this stuff back together, you always want to be super careful not to cross-thread anything. And I've got enough force just with my finger that I can somewhat do this. Yeah, you can see it pop back into place there. Okay, drop these screws back in here, and then I'll finish tightening the pivot, but I need the two T8 bits, so I'll wait for a second on that. So, one body screw in. You can see there was some blue Loctite there. Second body screw in. I'm going to tighten both sides. Maybe. There we go. And now I'll switch to the other tea. I've got a little oil on my hand, so it's difficult. Okay, centering is nice. Got that a little too tight. It's more like it. No side-to-side play. And much smoother now. So whether it was just a little dirt in the tracks that the stop pins follow or what, I'm not 100% sure, but the action is perfect now. Let me just wipe off the excess oil. Okay, so there we go. You can see very nice satin finished blade there. Laconico on the back spine. Decently thick stock. I'll go into all those numbers when we get into the full review. For now, I just want to throw these other two We Knife collabs on here. First, I want to point out, now that we've taken them apart, or taken this one apart, the construction is very, very similar. The main difference is really just the design. It's essentially, you know, they've kind of got a pattern here that they're going with, and it is a good pattern, right? Ceramic detent, really nice, thick, heavy-duty bearing races. Everything is really as it should be with these knives. So let me get these guys out of the way. I'm going to wait until my full review to talk about which one I like the best. Really, I haven't had enough time to get to know this one yet, but having seen them, which one are you most interested in? Is there one of these you're really planning to sign up for? I will put a link in the description box down below so you can follow a link to pick up this knife. I guess, yeah, I think you can get them again. It was only a few days after they released. Sorry about the delay in this video, but our postal service here in Canada is on strike, and that has meant a delay in just about everything, including this. It was a good 3-4 weeks waiting for this to be processed by Canada Post. It wasn't even an issue with CBSA, Canada Border Services. They didn't even look at the knife. It was just an issue with Canada Post and the fact that they were on strike and therefore not processing a lot of packages. Anyway, there you go, guys. So my first impression on this is that this may be the best Massdrop collab to date. Really, really great EDC knife, a great gentleman's knife, pretty good size for carry and use. Certainly a little closer to what I prefer in my EDC. And the great thing about this is you get this beautiful custom design, extremely well put together at a very reasonable price. I think these were like 145 bucks. And if you look around for what you can get for 145 bucks, there's very few that are going to be at this level of quality, this level of fit and finish, and this level of sort of overall enjoyment provided by all of those high-end extras that you're getting for what is essentially not a high-end price point. There you go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will talk to you soon.